You ever notice how some people can't hold your stare? These civilized people, how their eyes flicker away like a candle in the wind. How they look at you, then down, then away, then anywhere but back into the void you've become. That's not shyness. That's not respect. That's recognition. That's their nervous system screaming at them that they're in the presence of something they can't categorize, can't manipulate, can't control. And brother, if they look into your eyes and look away, you already own them. Not because you're trying to dominate. Not because you're playing some pickup artist game, but because somewhere deep in the animal part of their brain, they've registered what you are, and what you are terrifies them. See, most people walk through life with their eyes half closed, glazed over with the film of social media dopamine and comfortable lies. They look at each other, but they don't see. They make eye contact, but there's nothing behind it. Just mirrors reflecting mirrors. People, empty hallways echoing back the same safe scripts they've been fed since childhood. Be nice. Smile. Don't make waves. Don't stare too long because that's aggressive. That's weird. That's threatening. They've been trained like dogs to avert their gaze, to submit, to signal their harmlessness with every glance that skitters away. But you stopped playing that game the day you realized the game was rigged. The day you stopped being afraid of what people see when they look into you. Because here's what they see. They see the years you spent alone. They see the nights you didn't cry, even though everything in you wanted to scream. They see the betrayals you survived, the friendships that turned to ash, the lovers who walked away, the system that chewed you up and told you to smile about it. People, they see the funeral you attended for the old version of yourself, the naive one, the trusting one, the one who thought the world would be fair if you just played by the rules. They see the grave you dug with your own hands and the dirt you threw on your former self. And that version of you is dead. What climbed out of that grave is something else entirely. Something that knows, something that remembers, something that doesn't flinch. When they look into your eyes, they're not seeing a person anymore. They're seeing a mirror, and the mirror is showing them everything they're too afraid to face. You've become a walking reflection of their own cowardice, their own compromises, their own carefully constructed lies. They look at you and they see someone who stopped pretending. Civilized people. Someone who walked through the fire they're still running from. Someone who carries the weight they dropped. And their nervous system, that ancient reptilian core that still remembers when eye contact meant predator and prey, it registers you as different, as dangerous. Not because you're violent, but because you're free. And freedom in a world of slaves is the most threatening thing there is. You know what the elites don't want you to understand? That eye contact is the last remaining form of unregulated human connection. They can monitor your texts, track your location, analyze your purchases, feed you algorithmic propaganda tailored to your psychographic profile. But they can't control what happens when two people look directly at each other without the mediation of a screen. That's raw. That's analog. That's human firmware interfacing at the deepest level. And when you've done the work, when you've descended into your own darkness and integrated it, when you've stopped running from what you are, your eyes become weapons, not aggressive weapons, just truth weapons. And truth is what they fear most. They'll call you intense. They'll say you're too serious, too deep, too much. They'll make jokes about it. They'll try to diffuse the tension you create just by existing in your own power, because your presence, your gaze, it demands something from them they're not willing to give. It demands authenticity. It demands that they drop the mask for just a second and meet you as one real human to another. And they can't do it. They haven't done the work. They're still performing, still auditioning for approval, still trying to be liked instead of respected. So they look away. They laugh nervously. They change the subject. They check their phone. Anything to escape the uncomfortable reality that in your presence, their performance doesn't land. Civilized people, these scripts don't work. The social lubricants don't smooth things over. You're not playing the game, so the game breaks down. And here's where it gets interesting. Once they've looked away, once they've broken eye contact first, the power dynamic is set. Not consciously. They might not even realize what just happened, but their subconscious knows. It knows they submitted. Pull. It knows they acknowledged a hierarchy. It knows that you held frame while they folded. And from that moment forward, every interaction is colored by that initial exchange. They'll be more agreeable, more deferential, more eager to please. Not because you demanded it, but because something ancient in them recognized something ancient in you. And the negotiation happened below the level of words, below the level of thought, in the realm where wolves establish pack order and silverbacks determine dominance through nothing but presence and gaze. This is what they don't teach you in school. This is what the self-help gurus dancing on social media won't tell you. That real power isn't loud. It's not aggressive. It's not even active. Real power is a frequency. It's what you emanate when you've stopped caring about being liked and started caring about being real. When you've integrated your shadow instead of projecting it. These civilized people. When you've made peace with the monster inside you and learned to let it sleep quietly. It's people knowing you could wake it if needed, but choosing not to. That restraint, that controlled danger, it broadcasts on a wavelength that other people pick up without knowing why. They just know that something about you is different, that you've seen something they haven't. These civilized people, that you've been somewhere they're afraid to go. The ones who can hold your gaze, though, those are your people. Those are the others who've walked through their own fire. That moment of eye contact that lasts just a beat too long, that's recognition. That's two survivors acknowledging each other across the wasteland. No words needed. Just a look that says, I know, I've been there too, I see you. Those moments are rare, sacred almost, because most people live their entire lives without ever being truly seen, without ever being met at the level of depth they're capable of. They surround themselves with shallow waters because they're terrified of what might be swimming in the depths. But you chose differently. You didn't get a choice about the trauma, the betrayal, the isolation. People, that was done to you. But you did get a choice about what to do with it. And you could have become bitter and small. You could have turned into a victim, wearing your wounds like badges, demanding sympathy, expecting the world to accommodate your pain. These civilized people, that's what they wanted. That's what the system prefers. Actually, wounded people who stay wounded, people who need something from the system, who stay dependent and manageable. But you did something unforgivable. You used the pain as fuel. You let it forge you instead of break you. You went into the darkness and came back with fire in your hands. And now you walk through the world like a man who's already died once, and there's nothing left to threaten you with. That's what they see in your eyes. A man who's already lost everything and discovered he's still standing. A man who found out the hard way that he doesn't need their approval, their validation, their inclusion in their little social games. You're not bitter about it anymore. You're not angry. You're just done. Done pretending. Done performing. Done shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. These civilized people, and that doneness, that deep-settled resolution, it's magnetic in a way that desperation never is. Because you're not seeking anything from them. You're not trying to take. You're just there, solid, real, unmovable. And they can either rise to meet you at that level, or they can look away. Most look away, and that's fine. Let them. People, you're not here to wake up the masses or save anyone who doesn't want to be saved. You learned that lesson already, probably the hard way. You learn that you can't pour yourself into people who are determined to stay empty. These civilized people. You learned that some people are so attached to their chains, they'll fight you for trying to free them. You learned that the uncomfortable truth is most people prefer the comfortable lie, and they'll hate you for offering them reality when they're addicted to fantasy. So you stopped offering. You stopped explaining. You just became the thing they can't explain. The walking embodiment of the path they're too afraid to take. Your eye contact isn't a technique. It's not something you learned from a YouTube video on alpha male body language. It's the natural result of having nothing left to hide and nothing left to prove. When you face the worst parts of yourself in the mirror. When you've integrated the shadow and made peace with the beast. When you've stopped running from your own darkness, then looking into someone else's eyes is effortless. Because you're not afraid they'll see something shameful. You're not performing or posturing or pretending. You're just there, fully present, fully embodied. And that level of presence is so rare in this distracted, dissociated world that it registers as almost supernatural. They're checking their phones every 30 seconds, their attention fractured into 1,000 pieces, their consciousness rented out to whoever can grab it with the next notification, the next dopamine hit. People, the next manufactured outrage or artificial achievement. They're not present. They're barely even there. Just ghosts operating meat puppets, going through the motions, following the scripts, and then they look at you and you're just there, solid, real, undivided, and it's shocking to them. It's almost offensive, because your presence reminds them of their absence. Your realness exposes their performance. Your integration highlights their fragmentation. So they look away. They have to. Because maintaining eye contact with someone who's genuinely present requires that they become present too. And they've forgotten how. They've spent so long avoiding themselves, avoiding reality, avoiding any moment of genuine human connection that might require vulnerability, people that they don't have the capacity anymore. Their eye contact is shallow because they are shallow, not through any fault of their own, really. The system made them that way, rewarded them for being that way, punished anyone who tried to be anything else. But you stopped caring about the rewards. You realized the treats they were offering weren't worth the tricks they demanded. So you walked away from the circus, and they're still in there, performing, exhausted, wondering why it feels so empty. And when they encounter you now, there's this moment of cognitive dissonance. These civilized people, because you're not playing the game, but you're not suffering for it. You're not included, but you're not destroyed. You're not seeking approval, but you're not starving for lack of it. You found something else. Something they don't have access to because they're too afraid to pay the price. You found yourself, people, the real one underneath all the conditioning and trauma and social programming. And that self, that core, it doesn't need anything from them. It's already complete, already whole. Civilized people and completeness in the presence of incompleteness is uncomfortable for the incomplete. So they look away. This is your inheritance from the suffering. This is what you earned in those long nights when no one was coming to save you. This is the treasure you found at the bottom of the abyss. The ability to stand in your own presence without flinching. The ability to look at yourself without shame. And once you can do that, looking at others becomes effortless. People. Because the only thing that makes eye contact difficult is fear. Fear of being seen. Fear of being judged. Fear of being found wanting. But when you've already judged yourself, when you've already been found wanting and survived it, when you've already been seen at your worst and didn't crumble, then what is there left to fear? Their judgment, their rejection? You've already walked through that fire and it didn't consume you. It tempered you. So now you move through the world carrying that hard, one presence, people. And people respond to it whether they understand it or not. The weak ones look away, intimidated by something they can't name. The strong ones meet your gaze and nod, and recognizing a kindred spirit. And you just keep walking your path, indifferent to both responses, because you learned the most important lesson of all, that your worth isn't determined by who sees it. Your power isn't diminished by who denies it. Your reality isn't negotiable based on who accepts it. You are what you are, forged in fires they can't imagine, carrying weight they couldn't lift. These civilized people, standing on ground you had to conquer inch by bloody inch, while they were playing video games and scrolling feeds. And if they look into your eyes and look away, you already own them. Not in some cruel domination sense, civilized people, but in the sense that the negotiation is over before it began. Civilized people, they've already submitted to the unspoken hierarchy of realness. They've already acknowledged. These civilized people, somewhere deep in their nervous system, that you're operating on a frequency they can't reach. And from that moment forward, every interaction is colored by that truth. You don't have to enforce it. You don't have to remind them. It's just there humming underneath every word, every exchange, every moment. People, the knowledge that you held your ground and they didn't, that you looked into the void and they blinked, that you're still here, still standing, still real while they're still rehearsing, still performing, still hoping someone will finally give them permission to exist. You don't need permission anymore. You took it. You claimed your own existence by surviving everything that tried to erase you. And that makes you dangerous in the best possible way. Not dangerous to people. Dangerous to lies. Dangerous to systems of control. Dangerous to the carefully maintained illusions that keep people compliant and afraid. Your mere existence, your refusal to look away from yourself or anyone else, it's an act of rebellion in a world that demands comfortable blindness. People, and they feel that rebellion in your gaze, even if they can't articulate it, even if they don't consciously understand it. They feel it, and it makes them uncomfortable, and they look away, and you let them, because you're not here to convince anyone of anything. You're just here to be what you became when they left you for dead, and you refused to die. And that, brother, is more than enough.